So here's something I've noticed about what I like to call spiritually retarded people, aka the narcissist. They claim that they don't understand God, but the simple truth is they just don't understand themselves. You must know thyself to know God. If you don't know yourself and your own emotions, you're never going to have that kind of spiritual connection. I have a bunch of clowns who like to make fun of me because I'm a spiritual guy. These are grade A narcissists, okay? And forgive me, guys. I forgot to do this before the video, but these are people who are just, like I said, very narcissistic in nature, okay? Um, they have hardened hearts, they're hateful people. And so you have to ask yourself this very question. How do you expect to understand God when you don't even have a good heart? Okay? When you don't even have a heart that wants to feel, how do you expect to feel God? It's just, and it kind of makes me wonder about, like, or not so much wonder, but it actually just reminds me of school. Remember public school, aka prison? There's no difference, by the way. There's no difference between prison and school. Like, virtually nothing. Only difference between, I mean, yes, there's prison bars in prison, of course, but you get in trouble if you try to leave school. So you can't tell me it's. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is simply this. There was no class for spirituality, for manifesting, or for in anything in the spiritual realm. Not even like religion, which I'm not a fan of, but there was nothing. And the simple truth is, there were people like me who were, look, I'm just gonna be honest, okay, and I don't like to brag, but I was very advanced on a spiritual level as a young man, but I was not advanced in other things. And so that was made to, make me feel stupid. They're trying to, that's the point, is they didn't want people like me who had a strong connection with God the Most High and who could do things like manifest. Because think about it. If you can manifest, what's the point of a 9-to-5 job? There is none. 9 to 5 is simply just slavery. Noam Chomsky said it best, even though ironically he is an atheist. Um, the only difference between slavery and work is that work gives you the option to starve. Virtually there's no difference, just like with school and prison. It's the same thing. So if you know how to manifest, if you have that strong connection with God where you just get shit, because that's what God wants for you. He wants for you to not have to work and slave for things. Okay, God is not evil. God is not vengeful. He's not a sadistic God that gets off on our suffering. He wants you to basically have what you want without working. He does. Work is what gives purpose, okay? Purpose is the greatest thing, though. I mean, purpose is far better than money. And any billionaire will tell you that without purpose, there's virtually no point in life. Even a criminal needs purpose. So that's a completely different entity. But to enjoy life, to indulge in pleasures, God wants you to have that for free. He does. Because again, our God is awesome in all ways. But they don't want you to know that, okay? So, yeah, I guess my point is simply just, hold on a second, guys, I'm having some acid reflux here. Get my good old ice water. Alright, we're good. My point is just simply this. Spirituality is the greatest gift. Okay, it's far better than any trade. It's far better than any sort of talent. To have that connection with the Most High is the greatest thing you can have. And school is evil, work is evil. Avoid those things. If you have children, just homeschool them. I know it's illegal not to educate them, even though I don't believe they should be, because what should a kid be doing? Going outside and playing. That's all the child should really be doing. And the fact that they start them into slavery so young is honestly just quite sick. Excuse me. Probably shouldn't have had coffee before I started this video, but anyways, guys, that's what I got for you today. I guess it's just a bit of a short video. I'm working on myself, you know, that's what I'm doing. So again, don't expect a whole lot from me right now, but I want you guys to know I am making changes in my life. And yes, I have a bald head. I shave sometimes. That's just what I do, bro. I don't really wear the hats anymore. I used to be a big fan of the hats. You guys remember the fedora? Yeah, not so much anymore. But so anyways, this was all with scissors, by the way. It took me about 30 minutes. Yeah, not fun when you don't have an electric razor, but you work with what you have in life, guys, and let that just be a reminder to all of you that the best things in life are free. So don't feel bad if you haven't manifested your heart's desires, because the simple truth is this, man. As long as you are a good person with a good heart, that's all that matters in life. Because when you have a good heart, you don't have to constantly sedate it with things, okay? A lot of these empty shell humans, these narcissists, they have to constantly sedate themselves just to get through the day. If you're a good person and if you have a good connection with God, you don't need to do that. You know, I'm not a fan of the Beatles, but they were right when they said the best things in life are free. Okay? I mean, John Lennon was a tool. I could get into another video with that. He literally sold his soul to Lucifer. There's a story on that. But this famous road, not Abbey Road, but it was another road where people would notoriously go to speak to a demon and basically just sell their soul for what they want. That's what he did. And I would imagine Jim Morrison did the same thing. He was a very satanic person, and I was just watching an interview with Jim Morrison. It was actually quite funny. He was talking about how one day people, you know, will have the technology to live forever. And then someone asked him, like the interviewer asked him, like, well, what about, how do you think that would affect like the afterlife or something like that? And he's like, well, I guess those people are just going to miss out. Oopsies, Jim. Oopsies, Jim. You were just a minute too late on that. I'm so sorry you're riding in hell right now, bro. But thanks for the good music anyways, you chump. Anyways, guys, that's what I got for this video today. Hope you all have a rocking day, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.